Over many years, Kingston has become a city where professional musicians can build successful careers. The fabric of Kingston's music community is strong and getting stronger. It has numerous recording studios, music festivals, and venues that provide emerging artists the opportunity to hone their performance skills to the city's thousands of music lovers. Despite these advantages, it's still not easy for young musicians to achieve early success in Kingston. Recently, a group of St. Lawrence College students came together to not only recognize the challenges facing younger artists, but to do something about it. With the help of the college's student association, they formed a musicians guild that's quickly become a music scene unto itself, spawning an abundance of youth-led music acts and invigorating St. Larry's Pub through live music. On this episode of Kingston Live, Rob chats with Sons of Rick bandmates and St. Lawrence College students Ryleigh Stringer and Nathan Graham to share the story of and their vision for the St. Lawrence College Musicians Guild.
Why don't we start off with some introductions here?
I'm Ryleigh Stringer. I'm a student at St. Lawrence College. I'm going into my third year of advertising and marketing communications management. I'm also a drummer and the drummer for Sons of Rick officially.
I'm Nathan Graham, and I'm very similar to Ryleigh in the sense that I'm also a student at St. Lawrence College. I'm currently the president of the SLC Musicians Guild, also going into my third year of advertising, marketing, communications management, and I do guitar and vocals for Sons of Rick.
So we're here today to talk about the St. Lawrence College Musicians Guild.
Yes.
Both of you are members of the guild. I don't know if it was the guild that brought you together originally. I know you were both in the same band and things like that. But tell our listeners and tell me, what is the guild all about?
Well, we kind of started the guild out of a necessity last year. Brandon, who worked for the pub at SLC, had started it because the pub was reopening and we had a big, nice stage that wasn't being used for anything. So he eventually started putting on some concerts, and I think our band was actually the first to really restart that and get onto the stage. And to get funding and to do advertising for these shows, we needed a platform. And the Student Association at St. Lawrence College offers budget and marketing and stuff like that for clubs. So Brandon went ahead and made the Musicians Guild, which from there we were able to put on a bunch of different shows. So often we would get a bigger band from Kingston. We had a bunch of different ones. One notable one was Lotus Shaker. I think Days of Thieves played as well, and some other bands as well. And then we'd also get a student band, so Sons of Rick or Mason FM, Rust Pump, and other bands like that. So that was really cool. And then we also paired up with the MDM program at SLC, which is Music Digital Media, to put on open mic nights every Wednesday at the pub. So that's kind of how the Musicians Guild was started. So that was started in September of last year, and now we're bringing it forward into this upcoming semester. Brandon's taken a step back, and I have gone ahead and taken the role of president, and we're really looking to push that forward this year.
The pub that you're talking about was St. Larry's Pub, which is the campus pub at St. Lawrence College, which is a pretty cool place to hang out. Were you guys hanging out? Was this, it sounds like the club, you guys already had a clubhouse for your club.
Yeah.
But now you have some funding behind it and came together officially as the Musicians Guild. What were you hoping to accomplish as the Musicians Guild in coming together with the funding and things like that?
I think one thing from talking to people, in the guild and in the club and everything was kind of creating a sense of community, and being able to interact with other musicians and things like that. When I was recruiting some people to join the club at a clubs day last month, a lot of the people coming through were just really excited to kind of just talk about music and meet other musicians and, be able to play and interact with other people. So I think that's kind of one of the main things for sure.
Yeah, the club, really, that's a great way of putting it, a sense of community. I mean, especially when I first came to St. Lawrence, I didn't even know that there was really other musicians around until we started hosting these open mic nights. And we saw as the weeks went on, more and more people would show up and more people would have confidence to just go up there and play. And then we started getting collabs between people and really starting to feel that community. So we're just really hoping to be able to use this Musicians Guild to push that forward. We're actually currently working on trying to find a space where we can have open jams and stuff. So St. Larry's actually might let us come in on Saturdays when they're closed, so we can get the Musicians Guild to come in and just have open jams with drums and stuff. So that's something we're looking to push forward. We want to continue the open mic nights for sure, because that's just awesome. It's so cool to just see all the different talents and all the people come together. I want to continue to work on putting on shows. I really like the way we had it, where we'd have bigger Kingston bands and then a student band or something, because actually we saw that there were some bands from Queens and stuff that were starting to emerge. We got to play with Chunky Lunk, who are very fun, and Paper Bag Princes and Rooftop Caravan. It's just cool to see these bands have an opportunity to play there, because especially for us as Sons of Rick, we would have never been able to play at the Mansion or anywhere else without that starting point. So really hoping to use the Musicians Guild as just an entryway for musicians to maybe even find a band, start a band, play a show, and then just propel themselves. So it's all about music, all about community, and just having fun.
Have some bands come out of the guild?
Yeah, well,
Sons of Rick, really, I think.
Sons of Rick, I think Chunky Lunk kind of got a premiere there. Rooftop Caravans, one of their first few shows was there. Paper Bag Princes got a nice show there. So it's all bands that were given an opportunity there. And, you get clips, you get people to see you and can vouch for you because you've played a show there. And it's low risk, it's fun. People are just there to enjoy it. So I think it's a great place that can create bands almost.
Is it a bit intimidating, or maybe are there certain challenges being a young musician in a city like Kingston if you have a desire to, play live music and perform in front of an audience? And if so, what are some of those challenges?
I'd say maybe sometimes you can be overlooked a little bit, just you don't have as much experience. I mean, we're all 20 years old in Sons of Rick, for example. So, we show up to gigs and we're with these older guys. I've been playing, for me, drums for 25 years, and I've been, messing around for 4. So it's intimidating too. So I think that's one thing, an experience thing, and just being overlooked maybe in that sense is something that I kind of feel myself personally.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's scary at first, especially our first few shows. We're there and we have no idea what the process is, and we're just excited to play, but we have no idea. And then a lot of our first shows, we played with some bands that had older members, maybe in their 30s, 40s, and they have these big guitar cabs and they've got plenty of cymbals and all these things, and I'm here with my 20 watt Vox amp that we're gonna have to mic up and crank because it's not loud enough. So it's definitely scary at first, but I think because we were able to play at St. Larry's, at least we kind of understood how the process worked and build up some confidence. So when we played at the Mansion, it did go well and we felt good. Another thing to add is that all the bands we've played with in Kingston are super kind,
100%.
super helpful.
Yeah.
And although it can be scary at first, they're always willing to share their stuff. They share their tips and tricks, and they're just glad to have you there. So that's one thing to know. We've really found every single Kingston band that we've played with are super awesome, super friendly, and we appreciate them reaching out to us to have us on the bill. So that's one thing to note for Kingston for sure.
Yeah.
You talked about the Guild as a bit of a community, and I sense that whoever you may be playing with, whatever band you're in, you all seem to be supporting each other. And I think one of the challenges, maybe as a young band, I'm just guessing, I'm not a musician myself and I'm not in a band. And thankfully, I've never had to play a place like the Mansion, but as a young band, there are venues around town that will let you play their stage, but you're responsible for promoting the show and bringing people into the venue. And that, I feel, can be a little bit intimidating, but as part of the Guild, you've got an audience of friends and other musicians that are part of the Guild and part of the movement, so to speak, who presumably would come out to your shows and show support. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're really close with a lot of the people in the Guild, and that's just from jamming and being able to talk about music. Members of Rust Pump have come to our shows. Mason Forsey McKinnon have come to our shows. We've gone to his shows, and it is really comforting knowing that you have, somebody coming out to your shows, even when you're feeling, not so confident. It's half an hour before you go on and no one's there, and then, you have a friendly face walk in. It is comforting and nice to know that you have some people behind you.
How many members are in the Guild today, and more importantly, how does one become a member if they're interested?
Yeah, so
Is there a certain recruiting process? Is there a hazing ritual? Is there anything like that? I don't know.
it's actually pretty simple the way we have it right now, because we just want everyone who wants to be a part of it to be able to join. So basically we have like a form online on the SLC clubs. We have an Instagram page. We're just working on getting that up. It's been tough because I'm the president. Ryleigh is doing like social media and stuff like that, and working jobs and being in a band and stuff takes up a lot of time.
And
And a student, yeah.
So trying to juggle all of that, but yeah, we're looking to try and push that Instagram forward, so you can just message us through there. That'll be easy. But anyone who wants to join, just when they fill out a form, send me an email, text us on Instagram. I just add them to the list or whatever group chats we have. So we just want to make it super accessible is the way we do it. And for members, we had a little bit of a drop because people graduated, and technically you can't be like a part of it unless you're SLC, which maybe we'll see if we can find a way.
So is that a specific requirement? You need to be have an SLC student card, a St. Lawrence College student card?
Yeah, if you're going to be using the Student Association clubs budget and stuff, it needs to be for SLC students, but maybe we'll see if we gain enough traction. Maybe it's something we can bring outside of SLC and make like a Kingston Musicians Guild, but that's a project for the future once we get things properly up and running. I have a lot of ambitions, and it's just like how much time, how many resources can we put into it. But I think right now, since Clubs Day, we have about 20 active members, but we're going to look to continue to recruit and stuff and get more people to join and stuff.
Yeah, I'll mention too, like for the shows and open mics, it's open to the public, so you can come and jam with us or view the shows, or if you wanted to play a show, let us know. It's just a matter of being in the club. You got to be a student.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually, because open mic nights, we have it open, like St. Larry's is open to the public, so we actually had a lot of jammers come that are not from SLC and stuff, just come and play. And not only that, they're not playing by themselves. We have like people from SLC playing with them.
We hop on stage with them as like the
sort of have a
drummer.
house band
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
We all kind of end up playing with whoever. It's not just like Sons of Rick go on and then we're done for the night. I usually stick around for a bit, or Nathan's playing bass or guitar for somebody. We all kind of mingle around.
Yeah. Normally by the end, we'd always end up with these giant group jams of like 8, 9 people just on drums, 3 guitars, 1 acoustic guitar, like random vocals, and then keyboards, and then just everything. And that was always fun.
Like a 9-minute cover of TNT by AC/DC, the last open mic. I had to leave. I wasn't on that time, but I was like, it's been 9 minutes, guys. It's 1:30. It's time for me to go.
You just drop the sticks and walk off stage?
Yeah, I was like, sorry, guys. I got a 8:30 class tomorrow. I need some sleep.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan, what's been one of the accomplishments that of the Guild that you're most proud of? I
think the sense of community. It's still pretty new, and I wasn't like the president last year, so I was involved. I was a member, but I wasn't, making decisions. And I'm really happy with how we were able to help bands kind of get out of their comfort zone and like get out, play other shows around Kingston, and just like promoting music and just letting people feel confident, because it's scary at first, but these open mics really gave opportunities to people to get out there and play. Because I mean, we've gone up there and absolutely sucked, and that just kind of shows that you can go up there and just have fun. If you mess up, nobody cares. It's like we support you and stuff. So I think just that sense of community and allowing people to make mistakes together and be proud of it, because that's the way you grow, is probably one of the best accomplishments it's done so far, and we hope to just kind of continue that and push it as far as we can. And Ryleigh, I mean, helping run this the Student Musicians Guild it's extra time and effort, on top of the part-time job and school and just living life and and all that stuff. But it is work. I'm just wondering, what makes it worth it for you? I really like that we're providing opportunity, and that's something that kind of makes it worth for me. I mean, being in this band and making the friends that I have has just been awesome. First year was kind of boring, and then I come in second year, make a band, and playing music live, and so being able to, provide that opportunity for other people makes it worth it. And, being able to have fun and talk about music is something that makes it all worth it for me. What's your greatest hope for the Musicians Guild? When you look to the future, if there was a legacy you could leave or an impact that you could say that you had a hand in helping make, or the Guild at least? It'd be really cool if like one of the people we jammed with or one of the bands created through the Guild became these really big, successful artists and bands, because I think that's something we're all striving for and we want to create for people. And, just being able to play and all that stuff for sure. Well, I can tell you that before last year, and we pay a lot of attention to the local music scene here, we hadn't heard of bands like Rust Pump or Mason Force and McKinney or Sons of Rick for that matter, or a host of other ones. Fog Room comes to mind, another student band, and Chunky Lunk, and stuff. And we noticed that there was just a lot more action or activity, or at least the bands were making noise outside of their circles. You were putting on shows regularly, not just at St. Larry's, but at other venues in town, and promoting them, getting them listed on the Kingston Live website and things like that. And so I've no doubt that, it sounds like the Guild has been successful in, being a platform for that early success that emerging bands and artists, really need, I wanted to ask, though, Sons of Rick were a band that kind of came together. You mentioned that this sort of formed, as a result of the Musicians Guild at St. Lawrence College. And I want to know the story about Sons of Rick, because, we've seen the listings. I haven't been to one of the shows yet and stuff like that. But, who's in the band? We've got 2 members here, of course. But who else is in the band? Tell us about the kind of music that you play. Yeah, we are still kind of recent, and because, again, it is really because of the Musicians Guild and St. Larry's. And definitely a shout out to Brandon, because he's the one who, through the pub, helped organize these shows for us. So we wouldn't be here without that support. But for the creation of Sons of Rick, basically, I knew Ryleigh from work because we worked together for St. Lawrence College
in school,
recruitment.
kind of, but we were in like different sections, so we knew of each other, but didn't really interact or become friends until we both started working at the same job together.
Yeah, and then Nikolai is one of the guitar players and singers in the band, and he's also taking the same program as us. He came from Russia, and we made friends pretty quickly, and he'd always been asking me if we could play music together, you know, start a band and stuff, and eventually we got that opportunity. But first I'll tell you, and then we've got Joel, who does a little bit of backup vocals the odd time he sang a full song, but he just shreds guitar. He's awesome. I've known him since back in high school because we're actually in another band called Exogen that does more metal stuff, but we go back a little ways. So one day, one of the girls in my program called Nayeli, she asks me, can you find some live music for my birthday in my backyard? I was like, yeah, I can probably do that. So I knew Ryleigh could do drums, I knew Joel could throw on some guitar, and I knew Nick could do some vocals and guitar as well. So I told them, you guys want to be in a band, play like one show just for a friend? And they're like, yeah. So for a straight 2 weeks.
2 weeks straight.
Almost.
Every day after school, we'd meet up at Nathan's basement. And at first, it was just like really easy covers. So like
Seven Nation
Army, Say It Ain't So,
Song
you know,
2.
classic song 2, but like pretty easy songs that we could all pick up with the time frame that we were given for the birthday party.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the name Sons of Rick came from, because it's all in my dad's basement, and he always came down and he was like, you guys are all my sons, and he's quite the character. So we just kind of made it from that. And
well, Rick, if you're listening, we thank you for helping birth the Sons of Rick band. Nayeli, we also thank you for having that birthday party, because you got a new band for your birthday, and yeah, that's something to be thankful about.
We definitely 100%. Appreciate it. We,
both of them.
I don't know, our lives have changed so much because of it, but so much for the better. Like, they're all my best friends now. Like, we spend almost like probably 4 to 5 days a week we see each other, 4 to 5 days a week every week since last September because of it.
Yeah, I don't think we've really gone a week without seeing each other, or even if it's just been like passing through the hallway, we still, and it's not just like practicing too, like we hang out and yeah, they're definitely best friends and friends for life.
That's the power of music.
I'm getting a little teary-eyed over here. What's gonna happen when you graduate? Will the band still be together?
Well, I don't know. We hope so. I
would like to, for sure.
I mean, if we can break out, we're looking to record really soon. We've
Are you writing original music together?
Yes. We have 4 solid original songs that we know we want to record, and we've written like 4 others that kind of got scrapped. I mean, they're like okay, but we're not happy until it's something really feel good with. We've got 2 new ones. We're gonna premiere at we've got a show at the Toucan with Willy Nilly on the 21st of September. Like, we took a lot of shows on this summer, so now we're just kind of trying to slow it down and just maybe like 1 a month, just so we can actually focus on writing these songs and like playing some new cool covers, because we've been playing the same covers for a while. So we're just looking to expand and actually write our own stuff, and we're close friends with the Astros, and we really like how they recorded their sci-fi radio album. So we talked to the frontman Ben, and he's given us some tips on recording, so we're hoping we can use that within the near future and either get an EP out or maybe a full album. And we also got a photo shoot recently with Jamstone Productions, which we won through Battle of the Bands, and she's awesome. Celine did a great photo shoot. We went to Wolf Island Beach, and we just did a bunch of stupid
having
stuff.
fun.
And she just took pictures, and she was super kind. And the pictures, we've got them now. They're awesome.
Turned out awesome. Yeah.
So we're going to use
really
that
cool.
for like a press package and just updating our social medias and stuff. So we're really looking forward to the future. And I mean, looping this back, it's all thanks to Musicians Guild, St. Larry's, and all the people who support us. You know, we have people who show up to the shows, but we also have those friends that come to almost every single one of our shows. They pay the entry fees and they're there. Those people really make a difference, seeing their faces. So, and they're, you know, part of the Musicians Guild, a lot of them. So it's just, I just really want more people to feel that sense of community, and just, you know, even if you're not a musician, you know, maybe we'll teach you some stuff. I don't care. Music just brings people together like nothing else. So, yeah.
Hey, we usually like to include some music in every podcast episode. I don't know if Sons of Rick has anything that you've recorded that, you know, could we play a Sons of Rick song if there was one, or could you maybe choose a song from another band?
We actually... Yeah, we can probably
awesome
share our song, Man on the Moon. That's probably our favorite recording.
One of our favorites in the band as well.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
say.
I like that song. It's about Joel getting high and...
In his hot tub.
In his hot tub, looks up at the moon, and he's listening to a song called Threes and Sevens by Queens of the Stone Age. And he swears that the moon was singing it back to him. And then we wrote a song about that. So,
yeah. That's some good visuals to accompany that song.
Yeah, we definitely have some good ideas for what we're going to do with that.
T-shirts and...
Yeah, I think a cool visualizer
covers,
of a moon, like, singing. Anyways, that's all for the future.
That's in the works.
Well, the music video's pretty much written at
for
that
sure.
point.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to record and do the video for that one.
Well, I was getting
Thank you for listening to Kingston Live. Be sure to subscribe on your platform of choice and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. For more great Kingston music, check out the Kingston Live playlist on Spotify. For show listings, artist info, and all things Kingston music, check out kingstonlive.ca.
Well, it sounds like the Guild has been successful in, making connections with other acts within the community, but other resources in the community. You talked about connecting with the Astros to discuss how they recorded their LP. You talked about connecting with Celine at Jamstone Productions and things like that. Will the Guild continue to play a role for its members in making those connections, or in maybe bringing in others for more of an educational purpose and educating the members on certain aspects? There's more to being a musician than getting up on stage and strumming a guitar or beating the drums, as you know. So,
yeah, I mean, that's actually a really smart idea, that maybe making a collection of contacts and stuff, just a shared resource pool of just different contacts. That's actually something we might look into doing.
Right after this.
Yeah, we hadn't thought of that, but yeah, there's so many things to being a musician, which we had no idea until, you get into it. So that's something I think we can look into doing, just making 100%. Like a shared pool of resources, recording, photography, press release, like even just how you send an email to like a venue.
Yeah, it's a real challenge. Not everyone knows how to write a news release or do media outreach, or even do a decent Instagram post sometimes. But these are real skills. If you're in a band or you're a musician, it's probably for the love of playing music and not for the love of marketing. And so that's really interesting. The offers out there of Kingston Live can help the Guild with any of that education, and please reach out to us and let us know 100%. How we can help. Be happy to come in and talk to your members about
that would be great.
Some things that we think that we see artists could be doing a better job in terms of promoting themselves.
It'd be cool to run some workshops, maybe just like how to market yourself as a band or how to make a brand. I think that's one important thing. Luckily for me, Ryleigh, and Nick, we're all advertising students. So not to say our stuff is perfect. Even as advertising students, it's incredibly difficult. So
you guys are the best marketed student band ever.
So yeah, definitely it'd be interesting. That's some great points. Make a shared pool of knowledge, and let's get some more workshops going. And definitely if we can get Kingston Live to do some stuff like that. And also, I guess I should throw it out there, but we do heavily appreciate the work that Kingston Live does, because it's obvious. I mean, we see it. We see all the posts. We listen to the podcasts and stuff. There's a lot of awesome resources, and just like the new webpage is awesome, by the way. I really enjoyed adding our new profiles to that. So it looks awesome, and it does a lot of great work. It's great for people who are looking, what's coming up this weekend? Like, normally it'd be hard to know, but you go to the Instagram page, you see the reel for like what's coming up this weekend, or you go on the page and you see that, you see the prices, you see the ages. So a lot of thanks to Kingston Live for what you guys are doing.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's music to our ears for sure.
No, it definitely makes a difference in a lot of artists. And if you aren't signed up on Kingston Live as an artist, go do it now.
now.
It's simple. It's easy. If you have like 3 pictures of your band, a short bio, maybe you have like a song clip or something, you're all set. I mean, it's super simple, and you get yourself out there, and that's actually a way we've been contacted by other bands to get shows. So definitely do that.
That's kingstonlive.ca. You can find the link in the notes for this episode. Thanks for voicing our promo.
Yeah.
Now that our mid-roll ad is done, and all the other bands and links to the Student Guild and things like that, we'll put those in the episode notes as well. If you're looking for those, if you want to become a member, if you're looking for more information on anything we've talked about here, you'll find those links. But we're sitting here about to enter a new school year here. So there's a new year ahead, not just for you as students, but for the Guild as well. And I'm wondering, what is the year ahead for the Musicians Guild at St. Lawrence College looking like?
Yeah, we're keeping up with the open mics. That's something that's not going to change, and something I'm looking forward to. I always like those Wednesday nights and hanging out with people. But Nathan, you might know a little bit more about like the backside of things than me, but I know we have couple aspirations that, we're currently working on.
Yeah, so like my priorities right now are open mics, concerts that involve student bands and Kingston bands. Jam space is one of the priorities as well. Now that we're talking, I think one priority I'm going to add is workshops, because it is difficult to really get yourself out there. That starting period is incredibly difficult. Like getting that first 100 followers on Instagram, or like the first 200, is just, it's hard. So definitely just giving out resources, even though we're not huge or anything, but at least we've been through the process, and just all the other people who have done the process, like Mason or Rust Pump or any other bands like that, or artists, we can just share that and hopefully make that process easier, so we can just have more bands, more different artists, more music. I really like a lot of the music that Kingston produces, so I just hope we can take that and share it with the rest of the world,
You've mentioned St. Larry's Pub a bunch of times during our conversation, and if our listeners aren't familiar with it, it is the campus pub at St. Lawrence College. It is open to the public too, but it's become an important clubhouse, so to speak, for the Guild. And I'm wondering if you could tell our listeners a little bit more about the pub, its significance to the Guild, and why it's such a cool place to hang out and play music, or just take in a live music experience for that matter.
Yeah, for sure. It's a place to play. You got a stage, alcohol, which is nice. I know
you're likely on campus for like 5 days of the week already.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Naturally, it's a good place for you guys to hang out. But.
Yeah, we're there for non-class or at work. We're at the pub. Joel works there too, so we spend a lot of time.
Well, one thing is, like, a lot of the servers we have are musicians too.
Yes.
So it's like you'll have a server mid-shift go up and like play a song or stuff, and I think it's just having the stage right there. Like, you finish class, you go straight there, you see the people, and it just feels like home almost. It feels comfortable, where you can be yourself and play whatever you want. So I think for me, it's just that sense of comfort it brings. I mean, like, for somebody who's new coming there, it might be scary at first, but then you just notice everyone there is always happy. I don't know if I've ever been sad going to St. Larry's
for sure.
Pub.
Well, it's definitely like, it's different from, just being in the hall or sitting in the cafeteria, which, you can get food there, you can hang out there, but it almost still feels like school. But when you go to the pub, they have music playing, people are having a good time, there's pool, foosball, there's always events going on throughout the year too, right? So I don't really see it as much as school, which I think makes a difference in it being like a place that's for fun or for music and for the Guild.
Is there a hang-up about St. Larry's Pub because it's the campus pub for St. Lawrence College? So, as a listener, if I'm not a student there, what might you say to me to encourage me to come on out? I might be a little bit hesitant to go there. Well, it's just going to be students. I don't know. I don't want to be the outsider kind of thing. But what might you say to someone who maybe hasn't been there before, or might feel that same kind of hesitation?
One thing that Ryleigh says is it doesn't feel like school. Like, when I go in there, I'm not thinking I'm at school. I'm thinking I'm at St. Larry's Pub. It doesn't feel like it's a bunch of students there. It feels like it's a bunch of friends and like people hanging out. And we have people from all ages, from us who are like, we have people who are like 18. Like, you can come in even if you're not of drinking age and hang out and stuff. I mean, obviously you can't buy drinks, but but we also have people who are like 40 years old, and we're all friends. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you're there, you're part of the St. Larry's community.
Our producer Johnny San and I had lunch there probably a couple months ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and just went there for lunch.
I think I might have saw you there, actually. And also, I love the food. The food's very good.
The food is actually very good.
Yeah. If you're going, I highly suggest the banquet burger. I'm trying to go for the record of most banquet burgers ordered, and I think I'm on the right track.
A count?
I don't have a count, but I feel like
they would have it in the back for you if you asked.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
I feel like I've ordered a lot because I work there too. I currently work at Spark, which is like marketing agency inside of St. Lawrence College. So I'm there 9 to 5, and probably at least twice a week I'm down there for a burger. And I just like going down there to see the people, and they always have good playlists going. Which is also fun. Like the music's always great. So
great food, great music, great people.
Yeah.
St. Larry's Pub has it all.
Yeah. It's felt
it's
like
even got great parking. Lots of it.
But even like just telling like students that it's not like a school pub. It is a pub. It's like a regular pub. There's drinks and the people are great. It's a lot of fun. So just I think at the start people were hesitant, but as they realized how much fun it is and how people enjoy it, I think we've broken down those barriers. So we'll probably have to redo that start of this September, but we've got the people to do it and the resources, and we've got experience now, so we think it'll go smoothly, and just opening that up to the public too. So come to the open mic nights. You don't have to be SLC or anything. Come jam. We give people 3 full songs if you go up there, and you can do more than that. So there's plenty of time.
Join jams and stuff too. If there's a band, you're a certain person you want to play with, like no one says no, really,
and
ever.
it's a great place to just like create a band. You know, it's a bunch of musicians. You looking to create a band? Well, I mean, where else are you going to go, you know?
And it's not just bands and open mics that are happening there, too. There's also DJ nights, electronic music and things like that are happening there, too. Like, not just, rock bands and open mics. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first live show we have is a Spice Girls tribute band, which is really cool. And we have Courtney Kane, who's a SLC student, I believe, or SLC alumni at least, who's opening for them. So there's a lot of variety and difference. It's not just like Sons of Rick rock music. We have country artists. I think we have a saxophone player one time. Somebody doing classical piano music. So just come and play. It's
somebody do the intro to a Muse song on the flute at an open mic night.
Oh yeah,
So it's just anything. You never expect some of the stuff that goes on, which is the coolest thing because you're always surprised. And I know Brandon is going to be running a bunch of different events throughout the year at St. Larry's. So not just music. St. Larry's is going to have dirty bingo, or they'll have trivia nights and stuff,
karaoke.
And then
comedy nights,
comedy
like that.
And that'll follow it up with a big, cool show. So there's just so much to do.
It's amazing. If you're listening, you check out kingstonlive.ca. Keep your eyes open for listings for St. Larry's Pub, and don't hesitate to go because there's going to be lots of stuff happening there this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll be there. We'll be there almost probably every day. So,
9 times out of 10.
Come talk to us. We're pretty...
It's really easy. All you have to do is show up and start chanting, Sons of Rick.
We'll turn.
Sons of Rick. Is that right?
Chant Sons of Rick 3 times and we'll magically appear.
Up.
Yeah. We'll be there. Yeah.
Can you tell us... for more information on this, on the Student Musicians Guild, where do we go online for that? Where do we find and follow you online in places like Instagram?
So we have an Instagram, which is just SLC Musicians Guild. Don't have any posts just yet, but if you see the blue logo, feel free to give us a follow, and there'll be some content and updates coming your way soon. Everything's
in the works. We're going to be doing some more meetings and stuff now that we have everyone coming together, start of school. So we're probably going to try to get bi-weekly meetings so we can just make sure things are getting planned and everyone has roles and stuff. So throw a follow on the Instagram because we'll be posting about all the concerts and events we'll be doing. Also on the Student Association of St. Lawrence College website, you can also find info about the club there, and even send us a message on the Sons of Rick Instagram account. And
yes.
Me and Nick are the ones who answer it, so we'll tell you all about the Musicians Guild.
We'll put links to all of these in the episode
and
notes as well.
Don't mind if you follow Sons of Rick too. I mean, it might as well while you're there.
Throw us a bone too. And St. Larry's Pub as well. Any updates about open mics and live shows, comedy nights, trivia nights, all that good stuff will be on there too.
I know the Musicians Guild is bigger than the two of you. Is there any shout outs to other members that you want to make while you've got the mics?
Yeah, shout out to Mason Forsey McKinnon, who's a regular there. I'd say Emily, who's not a musician, but she joined the club to help us with organizing events and, creating the forums. So shout out Emily also for coming to all of our shows and that good stuff too.
Just shout out to everyone who's working on being a musician. The hardest part is often just sticking it out. I think those who do, that's true musicians in my heart. Even if you've got like 5 followers on Instagram, if you're pushing for it, then that's what it takes to be a musician. And I mean, shout out to Nick and Joel, who aren't here, but they're in our hearts.
Yes, they're with us.
They're with us spiritually.
Say Sons of Rick 3 times and they'll show up too.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. Thank you once again for joining us. And this has been fantastic, getting to know you guys a little bit better.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for having us.
It's been great.
We'll see you around, I'm sure.
This has been Kingston Live. We encourage you to rate us on your listening platform of choice and subscribe where possible. For show listings, artist info, and all things Kingston music, check out kingstonlive.ca. Kingston Live was produced in Kingston by Soundwise. Hosted by Rob Howard. Voiceovers and technical production by John Sanfilippo. Kingston Live is a member of the Canadian Live Music Association. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at podcast@kingstonlive.ca.